Iran war situation, and we analyze the social media footages and reports which can be unverified at times. We analyze the social media footages which can be unverified at times, and we just analyze them from educational and documentary point of view, strongly following the YouTube community guidelines. So, to begin with the Iran war updates, and this is Iranian spokesperson saying that we are not intimidated by U.S. threats. What are U.S. threats? U.S. threats were like President Trump has threatened and given a 48 hours ultimatum to Iran, saying that the US will bomb Iranian power plants if the Strait of Hormuz is not opened by Iran within 48 hours. Let me repeat for you people here again that President Trump has threatened Iran that he will bomb Iran if Iran doesn't open the Strait of Hormuz within 48 hours. And before the lapse of this 48 hours ultimatum and time period, President Trump has said that negotiations between US and Iran have started, and negotiations between US and Iran have started, and he has laid out 5 days for these negotiations, and he says that he is hopeful that Iran and US will reach some kind of a deal to have ceasefire. And he says that if the ceasefire isn't reached within 5 days, and he will be back with his ultimatum of 48 hours that he will bomb the power plants of Iran if Iran doesn't open the Strait of Hormuz within 48 days. To these comments and threats, Iran has replied, and Iran has said that they are not intimidated by these US threats. And they have said that President Trump is lying, and there are no talks and no negotiations going on between US and Iran. And they have said that they are not opening the Strait of Hormuz. Let me give you the brief overview of what this Iranian spokesperson is saying. He is saying that meaning thereby, he is saying with respect to Iran and with perspective of Iran, he's saying that we are not intimidated by US threats. We are not opening the Strait of Hormuz. And he is saying that President Trump is lying, and there are no negotiations going on between the US and Iran regarding the ceasefire. President Trump earlier said that he has responded, the Iranian spokesperson responded to what President Trump said, and President Trump said that he and the US will bomb the major power plants of Iran if Iran doesn't open Strait of Hormuz within 48 hours. Before the lapse of those 48 hours, President Trump has said that negotiations have started between US and Iran, and he said he's hopeful that there will be an agreement reached regarding ceasefire. And he said that he has laid down a 5 days plan for the negotiations, and he's giving 5 days to negotiations, and he's hopeful that negotiations will be successful and ceasefire agreement will be reached. And if in case this agreement isn't reached, then he will be back with his threat, and he will be back with his plans of bombing the major power plants of Iran. Iran responded back and said that they are not intimidated by the US threats, and no talks are going on between the US and Iran. And the Iranian spokesperson said that no negotiation talks regarding ceasefire are going on, and President Trump is lying, and we are not opening the Strait of Hormuz, and we are not intimidated by US threats. And this is the brief overview of what is happening now and what is the condition and situation of Iran Israel US war. Please do subscribe the channel and like the video as well, and share these videos and visuals with other people. And please do comment as well. Do comment your thoughts and ask questions, and we'll respond. We are reading your comments and we will be answering your questions as well. So let's give you one more time and the brief analysis and brief picture and overview of what the situation is right now regarding the Iran war and what are the updates. The updates are that President Trump has said that talks are going on between US and Iran regarding ceasefire and negotiations, obviously mediated by some other countries and third countries not part of this war. And President Trump has said that he is waiting and giving negotiations time period, failing which the 48 hours ultimatum will be in effect. And the ultimatum of 48 hours was that from President Trump that Iran must open the Strait of Hormuz, and if Iran doesn't open the Strait of Hormuz within 48 hours, the US will bomb major power plants in Iran. And to these threats, the Iranian spokesperson has replied and said, we are not intimidated by these kind of threats, and we are not opening Strait of Hormuz, and there are no negotiations going on between the US and Iran directly or indirectly. And he said that President Trump is actually lying. So this brings us to the situation in which these are an Iranian ballistic missiles towards Israel. These are Iranian ballistic missiles. You can see these missiles, some of them making an impact while others were intercepted. Look at these missiles. There the interceptor missile was launched, but the interceptor failed to intercept incoming Iranian missile, and the Iranian missile does manage to make an impact. Let's talk about some more visuals, and let me show you some more visuals from these. This is courtesy TRT World channel, and Iranian ballistic missiles and cluster munitions broke through Israeli air defensive, hitting targets, and some were intercepted while others managed to make impact. This is these visuals are of today. These visuals are of today. Please do subscribe and subscribe the channel and like the video as well. These are the latest visuals we are showing you courtesy TRT World. And look at these cluster munitions and warheads from Iranian ballistic missiles over the skies of Israel. Look at these visuals. These visuals are of today, and these are the latest visuals when Iran fired multiple missiles with cluster ammunitions and warheads towards Israel. And these are the latest visuals we are showing you, courtesy TRT World News Channel. And look at those ballistic missiles with cluster munitions and multiple warheads, and some managing to make impact while others were intercepted. We are showing you the latest of visuals. Please do subscribe the channel and like the video as well. We are showing you the cluster munitions and the multiple warheads over the skies of Israel, courtesy TRT World. You look at these visuals we are showing you one by one, and let's analyze. We are showing you the social media footages and reports which can be unverified at times, and we are just analyzing these visuals and footages for purely from documentary and educational point of view, strongly adhering to YouTube community guidelines. Please do subscribe the channel and like the video as well. This is Al Jazeera's courtesy, and Iran has launched a ballistic barrage of missiles and cluster warheads towards Israel. Look at these visuals. Let us provide you the overview and brief overview of what is happening right now and what is the situation of Iran war right now. You guys please do comment and share the video and like the video and subscribe to the channel, and do comment your thoughts and opinions and questions, and we will answer them. Let's give you the overview of what is happening and what is the situation right now. The situation right now is that Iran has said that we are not intimidated by US threats, and we are not opening the Strait of Hormuz, and President Trump is lying, and there are no negotiations going on between the US and Iran directly or indirectly. This is the stance of Iranian spokesperson and Iranian regime. President Trump earlier said that talks are going on between Iran and US, and he said that he is hopeful that we will reach the agreement of ceasefire will be reached. And he said that he is giving 5 days to the negotiations, failing which the 48 hours ultimatum he gave prior to these negotiations will stand into effect. What was the 48 hours ultimatum? The ultimatum was that if Iran doesn't open the Strait of Hormuz within 48 hours, the US will bomb major power facilities in Iran and major power houses in Iran, major power plants in Iran. US will be targeting those, and within 48 hours of the failure of opening the Strait of Hormuz, US will be bombing the major power plants in Iran. Iran responded that they are not intimidated by such threats, and they are ready to face US attack. And he said that Iranian spokesperson said that President Trump is lying, and there are no negotiations between going on between Iran and US directly or indirectly. These are Iranian cluster missiles and cluster ammunitions and multiple warheads over the skies of Israel and Jerusalem. Look at these visuals. We are showing you the visuals as well and providing the analysis as well over those unverified reports and visuals, purely from educational and documentary point of view, strongly for adhering to YouTube community guidelines. Please do subscribe the channel and like the video as well, and do share your thoughts, opinions and comments. Ask questions in the comments, and we will be responding to your comments and questions. Let's discuss this war from another point of view. President Trump threatened that he will bomb the power plants. Now, why he's thinking that he will bomb the power plants? Alongside the military targets, the US and Israel have bombed the civilian infrastructure as well in Iran. And firstly, to begin with, the oil facilities. Firstly, the oil facilities in Tehran and Shahran were targeted, and after those attacks, the gas facilities was also targeted by US and Israel. And when the gas facilities were targeted, 75% of the energy was disrupted in Iran. Those gas facilities were not only uh, the biggest in Iran, but the biggest in the one of the biggest in the world as well. Those gas facilities were. Iran retaliated by targeting the oil facilities and the gas facilities in Qatar and other countries in UAE. Iran attacked the oil facility of Fujairah, and in Qatar, Iran targeted the gas facility, cutting 17% of the gas that Qatar produced, and the damaging the infrastructure. And 5 years will be needed to build that infrastructure again. Iran also attacked the Iraq's gas and oil facilities as well. Iran is targeting these oil and gas facilities because Iran says that, and reportedly, allegedly, Iran also attacked Haifa's oil facility as well in Israel. And Iran is attacking these gas facilities as a retaliation. This is the Iranian point of view, that they are targeting these oil and gas facilities as a retaliation to the attacks that US and Israel did by attacking the gas and oil facilities in Iran. Why I'm telling you this brief overview is that this brings us to the situation when not only the military structures and infrastructures and people and buildings and are targeted, but uh, civilian infrastructure is also being targeted, and President Trump is also threatening that he will target the major power plants if Iran doesn't open Strait of Hormuz within 48 hours. But he has now halted this, and he has said that negotiations are going on, and he's giving 5 days to negotiations, after which he'll be if negotiations fail, he'll be back with this ultimatum and will be hitting the power plants. This is an escalation to dangerous level. Why? Let's discuss that. Why this is escalation to dangerous level? Because targeting civilian infrastructure, what does that mean? This means that both sides are targeting each other's civilian infrastructure. Iranian infrastructure, civilian infrastructure, gas and oil facilities are being targeted by Israel and Iran, and Israel and US, sorry, and the civilian infrastructure of the Gulf is also targeted, and in Israel is also targeted by Iran. What does that mean? The effects of the war are now not limited only to the countries who are fighting this war. Let me make this statement again, that the effects of the war are now not limited only to the countries that are fighting this war. The effects are beyond, way beyond that, and are felt by and felt across the globe. Many countries are affected by it, even those who are not part and parcel of this war and are not fighting this war directly or indirectly. Because when the energy infrastructure is targeted and when oil facilities are targeted, this means increased oil prices across the globe. This means increased energy requirements across the globe, and this with the with the less output of oil and production of oil, and with the less energy and gas, everything comes to stop and halt, and the industries stop, the vehicles stop, and as a result of transport stopping, and as a result of industry stopping, even the food shortages start, and food chains disrupt, and these effects are, and the global inflation rises, and energy crisis deepens, and the oil prices goes up, and these effects are felt across the globe, and not only to the countries that are fighting the war. So this is an escalation up to a dangerous level, where the effects of the war are felt not only by the countries who are fighting, but by the other countries who are not fighting the war directly or indirectly, who are not the part and parcel of this war. So this is escalation beyond dangerous level, and this will significantly, the prices of oil will jump significantly up, and they may reach up to 250, 300, 400 per barrel, dollars per barrel. And with that, you will see unemployment, increase inflation, even the crimes will increase, and the energy disruption, and oil and the transports will be disturbed, even the food production, and the industries will stop functioning normally, and because there will be very less production, and so no export, or it's right to say that the exports will fall of all of the countries. So it will be a vicious cycle of the events, and it will engulf all of the countries, even those who are not fighting the war. So this is why attacking civilian infrastructures is dangerous in this war. But this, let's come back to the threat. The President Trump threatened that he will target the power plants of Iran, and he said that Iranian power plants will be targeted if they don't open the Strait of Hormuz. Let's analyze, to which obviously Iran responded that they won't be opening the Strait of Hormuz, and they are not intimidated by US threats. Then what will happen? The US and Israel will definitely gonna bomb the power plants, and we will see a chain reaction, and resultantly Iran will be targeting the oil and gas facilities of the Gulf countries and Middle Eastern countries, including Kuwait, Bahrain, Qatar, UAE, and also Israel. So both sides will be targeting each other's oil and gas facilities, and this will become a vicious cycle, escalating the things further, and engulfing the effects of which will be not good, and for the international community as well, and for the countries who are not fighting this war. So let's hope this doesn't happen. And President Trump is saying that he is having negotiations with Iran. Iran has completely denied it and said that President Trump is lying. Either actually the negotiations are going on and Iranians are denying, or it's like President Trump just said negotiations are going on just to cool down things, and just to give, like, stabilize the situation, and so that the prices of oil and doesn't go up too quickly, and he wants to stabilize those prices. That's why he's taking this stance that the negotiations are going on, but actually the negotiations are not going on. Both can be true. Some time that which of the possibility has was true. And what are your thoughts on these, and how do you view these situations and updates? Please do comment, and Do comment your thoughts and do share your opinion with us, and we are seeing your comments. Please do share your comments and your thoughts, and we will be replying to your questions and answers. Please do subscribe the channel as well, and like the video and share the video. These are mass casualties, injuries, widespread damage after Iran targets Israeli cities, and this is Fox News reporting it. This is Fox News reporting it that they are destructions of buildings and casualties of Iranian missiles managed to make impact in multiple cities, courtesy Fox News. Uh, these are visuals, courtesy Fox News, and reporting that there is widespread damage and casualties after Iranian targets Israeli cities. We are analyzing this. Please like the video and subscribe the channel, and do share your comments as well. President Trump, in his press conference today, said that the first man who said let's have this war was his war secretary Pete Hegseth, and he pointed out to him that he was the man who gave him let's go into the war. And President Trump, and there are reports that US has conveyed to Israel that uh, negotiations must now be started, and let's try with negotiations, and we might reach a deal with Iran. And this was the policy take by US administration, to which Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu replied that probably said that, and this is the right situation, allegedly, according to unverified reports. He said that this is now the right time to eliminate the new supreme leader of Iran, who is Mujtaba Khamenei. And he said that we are right into war, and this is the right time to eliminate Mujtaba Khamenei, the new Ayatollah and supreme leader of Iran. Please do like the video, and do share your comments, and do reply, and do ask questions, and do subscribe the channel as well. Let's to those who have joined now, let's give you a brief overview of what the situation is right now. The situation right now is that President Trump has said, warned Iran that they must open the Strait of Hormuz in 48 hours, within 48 hours. And if Iran doesn't open the Strait of Hormuz within 48 hours, then you will be attacking the major power plants of Iran. And to these threats, Iran replied that Iran is not intimidated by US threats, and they are not on the Strait of Hormuz. And President Trump has now also said that negotiations have started between Iran and US, and he said that he is hopeful that the ceasefire will be in effect soon. To which Iran replied that there are no talks of negotiations going on between US and Iran directly or indirectly. So they also said that the US is lying regarding the negotiations. This is TRT World Courtesy, and footage shows the moment attack northern Israel. Hezbollah with launchers and drones. These are the visuals courtesy TRT World when Hezbollah attacked and targeted Israel. Please do subscribe the channel as well and like the video as well, and do share these videos, and do write to us your comments, your thoughts, and ask the questions as well. Will US be able to open the Strait of Hormuz, and why the Strait of Hormuz is of that much importance to US? The US can buy oil from other countries. They too have shale oils, and they are having their own shale oil, and they can extract their own shale oils, and they can obviously buy it from now Venezuela as well, and they can buy from many other countries as well, oil from many other countries as well. Then why is this Strait of Hormuz important to US, and why US is hell-bent on opening the Strait of Hormuz and asking Iran to open the Strait of Hormuz, and else we'll be attacking your major power plants? What's the reason and rationale behind it? Let's discuss that. And before that discussing, I'll request you to please like the video and subscribe the channel as well. Please do subscribe the channel as well and like the video. Let's discuss why Strait of Hormuz is important. Because firstly, in the Strait of Hormuz, 20% of the global oil supply happens through the Strait of Hormuz, and this is a big number. And global oil supply means millions of barrels in one day, traveling through the strait to different countries. When this happens, and when IRGC and Iran blocks the Strait of Hormuz by multiple means, that we will discuss how the Strait of Hormuz is blocked by Iran. This is why hi my friend, how are you? I am fine. Prayers needed, and please do subscribe the channel, like the video as well. And why the Strait of Hormuz? When millions of barrels are passed through the Strait of Hormuz in a single day, and when this 20% of oil supply and trade halts, then we see the effects of these and consequences of these. What are the effects? The increased oil prices across the globe, and increased inflation, increased unemployment, increased demand, and increased prices of energy. And when these prices increase, it affects not only the countries which are fighting the war, but it affects multiple countries who are not into the war, and many countries who are not into the war directly and indirectly. So everyone sees price hikes, oil shortages and price hikes, and even the food chain gets disrupted, the transport gets disrupted, and the daily life gets disrupted with increased unemployment, increased inflation, and increased oil prices. So that's why it is important for US to maintain certain prices of oils, and to not let those prices of oil to jump from above that critical point. And Prices as of now, if the Strait of Hormuz remains closed, the prices may jump up to 250, 300, $400 per barrel, and that would have a devastating effect to the economies of the world. And the prices will of the oil will significantly and massively increase in the whole of the world, and that would affect the prices of every each commodity of every country. So that's why the Strait of Hormuz is important, and US is hell bent on opening the Strait of Hormuz. Now this brings us to the question why the US hasn't been successful up till now to open the Strait of Hormuz. The US has been trying very hard, and but still they haven't met the success. They haven't got success in opening the Strait of Hormuz. The answer to this question lies in the location of the Strait of the Hormuz. Please do subscribe the channel and do like the video as well, and do share this video as well, and do comment as well. Uh, the answer to this lies in the location of the Strait of Hormuz. Why hasn't the US been successful in opening the Strait of Hormuz? This is because the US has not been successful in opening the Strait of Hormuz, is that because of the location of the Strait of Hormuz. There is Iran has fast attack speedboats that are like kamikaze boats, and they are many in number, and they have many fast attack boats, and they work like a kamikaze fast boat, and they just get near to the tanker and oil tankers passing through the Strait of Hormuz, and they just hit the tanker, and the tankers get damaged and gets fire. So this is number one, and to attack so much amount of numbers of kamikaze boats, this is difficult, even though US has attacked many of the fast attack boats. Number two is that Iran has yet to deploy mines in the Strait of Hormuz. They haven't deployed mines in the Strait of Hormuz, but they can deploy the mines in the Strait of Hormuz, and this would be very effective, as to clear the mines in the Strait of Hormuz it will be very difficult, and because the US Navy has to enter Hormuz to open those mines actually, and so that would be difficult for to clear these mines as well. This was the number two. Number three is that Iran has underwater missiles, and yes, you can intercept ballistic missiles, you can even intercept cruise missiles, surface to surface missiles, but how can underwater missiles be intercepted? Very, very, very difficult to intercept underwater missiles. So when an oil tanker, you just need a one missile to hit an oil tanker, and the rest of oil tankers wouldn't dare to pass through the Strait of Hormuz for even like a week or two. So this is the third way. And number four is IRGC and the coastline of Iran. There are IRGC troops there in the coast of Iran, near to the Strait of Hormuz. And when they see an oil tanker, and they just warn it, and they can attack it with their missiles, and they can attack with the rocket launchers. So difficult to and this is another reason that it's difficult for US to open the Strait of Hormuz, because IRGC force is like nearly 1 million strong, and this is just the one force which Iran is having, and they have other forces as well. So this is another reason this is difficult for US to open the Strait of Hormuz. And another reason is that the Shahed drones, This is another reason for why the uh, U.S. has not met with much success of opening the Strait of Hormuz is that the Shahid drones. The Shahid drones have been proven to be very effective. Since the start of the war, Iranian Shahid drone cost between $20,000 to $30,000, and these drones have taken out even the early warning radar systems that cost $1 billion and that were installed in Qatar. And that 20 to 30,000 dollar drone took out that $1 billion early warning radar system. These drones were successful in targeting the Fujairah UAE oil facilities in Haifa, and these drones also targeted the Qatar LNG facilities, and in Bahrain, the fifth fleet bases were attacked by these drones. So these drones were very effective, utilized very effectively by Iran. And these drones can be used to attack the oil tankers that dare to pass through the Strait of Hormuz. So these are the multiple reasons of why US has not been successful in opening the Strait of Hormuz. So with these reasons, US has now threatened Iran to open the Strait of Hormuz. Failing and the opening of the Strait of Hormuz, the US said that the US has given ultimatum to Iran that open the Strait of Hormuz within 48 hours, else we will attack your power plants. This is like a desperate move from US that their navy and their USS Gerald and USS Abraham Lincoln and their air superiority. With all these capabilities, the US has failed to open the Strait of Hormuz. That's why and they are relying on some other method and threats that they will attack the power plants, which are the civilian infrastructure and not the military infrastructure. And this will escalate the war beyond dangerous levels as well, because in retaliation Iran would also be targeting the power plants of Israel and the power plants of the Gulf countries as well. So that would escalate the things further, and that would cause the shortage of energy throughout the world and increase oil prices, and that would disrupt the food chain and the transport and the daily life as well. So that would escalate the things even further. Please do subscribe the channel and like the videos, and please do subscribe the channel and like the videos as well. Share your comments and ask questions, and we will be answering your questions as well. We have provided you with detailed analysis why the Hormuz is important for US and why US wants the Strait of Hormuz to be opened as quickly as possible. What other topic you want us to be covered with what point of view, please do comment that as well, and we will be giving our insight purely from educational and documentary point of view to you guys as well. And meanwhile, let's see these visuals which we are having right now. These visuals are on your screen, and these are the visuals. Iran has launched 26 missiles, of which many were intercepted and few managed to make impact in different countries on US bases and in Israel as well. This as explosion hits the IRGC Isfahan. Explosion was seen at the IRGC headquarters in Isfahan in Iran. These are the exclusive visuals we are showing you when These are the exclusive visuals when IRGC facility was and headquarters were bombed by Iran, by US and Israel. Look at those clouds and smoke. It shows you how intense the bombing was, and the IRGC headquarters were hit by Israel and US. Please do subscribe the channel and like the video as well, and do share your comments and opinions and thoughts. This is Tehran being targeted. This was is now entered in 24th day 24th day of the war. Earlier war which happened in 2025 June, I guess that was, if I am not wrong, that lasted for about 12 days, and this war is in 24th day now, and it is still continuing, and we are not seeing end to this war, and the war probably won't be ending soon, because President Trump has hinted that there are negotiations going on between US and Iran, but Iranian spokesperson has denied that no negotiations are going on regarding ceasefire between US and Iran directly or indirectly. This is courtesy CNN. Iran launches missile attacks on Israel. You can see the cluster munitions and the multiple warheads towards Israel, courtesy CNN. Some of them were making impact while others were intercepted. We are analyzing the social media footages which can be unverified at times, and we are providing you the analysis purely from documentary and education point of view, strongly adhering to YouTube community guidelines. Please do share your opinion and your thoughts, and do also ask questions, and we will be responding to your questions as well. These are let's now talk about this is US says it has crippled Iranian threat in Strait of Iran has lost significant combat capability. US is saying that they are targeting Iran's navy, and their navy is not sailing. On one hand, the U.S. says that these are the footages that the U.S. is saying. It is very clear that U.S. and Israel do have air superiority over Iran, and they have destroyed. They're saying that they have destroyed 130 vessels, speedboats, basically, and regarding to Iranian navy, and on one hand, U.S. is saying that they have U.S. and Israel do have air superiority over Iran. On one hand, they are saying that U.S. is saying that they have destroyed the capability of Iran to fight this war, and they have attacked the air force of Iran, and they have taken down the navy of Iran. But on the other hand, they are also threatening Iran to open the Strait of Hormuz. Which clearly shows us that the claims of destroying entirely the Navy and the IRGC and the Central Command there and of Iran, basically, and of the Air Force is like a bit exaggerated. by US, because if that was the case, and then it's easy for US to open the Strait of Hormuz, and they won't be threatening Iran to open the Strait of Hormuz, else they will be bombing like the power plants of Iran. So US is also thinking of boots on ground in Iran, and this will bring us to the situation where having troops on ground is not difficult, but maintaining those areas captured and maintaining your presence and maintaining your victory and maintaining the troops there is a costly job, and it would be like difficult for the US to maintain their victory if they open the Strait of Hormuz with having troops on ground to maintain that their victory and their opening of the Strait of Hormuz and to maintain their forces. It would be a very difficult job for a US, because it would be very costly for US. The Israeli army targeted the Qasmiya brigade over in Lebanon. These are the visuals courtesy TRT World. And the Israeli targeted the Qasmiya brigade in Lebanon. Please do subscribe the channel and like the video as well, and do subscribe the channel as well. Please do subscribe the channel as well, and do like the video as well. And with these footages, we are now, if you don't have any questions, we will be now ending this live stream, because it's been over an hour. It's been nearly an hour. We are live and showing you the footages and visuals and analyzing and giving us our thoughts. This is reportedly the US has targeted the uranium enrichment underground plant by in Iran. Now, to wrap up our live streaming, thank you for joining us, and we will take a short break and we will return with some more news when they will be available. Thank you for joining us, and please do subscribe the channel, do like the video as well, and do share this video as well. Thank you for joining us. Stay blessed and stay happy. Take care.